absolutely free and enjoy more of what the world has to offer in this action one, because this is where most human beings screw the pooch.
So a little one-person trampoline, very
I screen shared it. Like, there's no excuse. Like, phone numbers are just out there. You just got to pick up the phone, smile, and dial. So.
Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk to Tanner Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you and I the absolute best entrepreneurs we can be, not only for ourselves, but for the people we love and care about most. So this morning, this Monday, fine, beautiful, amazing Monday morning, good morning, everyone. We're going to be talking about putting too much pressure on ourselves. I do this all the time. You probably do this all the time. And we want to make sure that we're raising our awareness to this and we're not kicking the total crap out of ourselves as we're continuing to grow, as we're continuing to get better, as we're continuing to get closer to our goals. We're feeling good about ourselves. So this lovely Monday morning, we're going to be talking about putting a little too much pressure on ourselves, and then a few ideas, and then one exercise that I absolutely love called the gap and the gain to kind of help with perspective, because so much of life is about framing, incredible. And we're going to talk about, maybe it would be helpful to give a little more light, a little more ideas to just this, putting too much pressure on ourselves. Like what can happen, or what's going on when we are doing this. So I have some show notes. I'm going to just read off really quick. So we just want to be careful of the negative consequences of putting too much pressure on ourselves. Say if you have an ideal that you are striving for, and this is where you're currently at. Forget this. Let's go to the board and we'll start with the gap and the gain exercises. And then we'll talk about what's going to be present in our lives when we are either on one side of the gains or one side of the gap, vice versa, and kind of go back and forth. I like visuals. I think visuals are very helpful. So let's go ahead and draw this out. So we have our 3 marks. This would be like our starting point over here to the left. This would be the ideal. This would be like the ideal or the goal down here. So this is what we're striving towards, right? This is the end of the journey. You and I, we go through our 6-week plan. One of our sections is on vision and creating that vision for ourselves and creating the ideal future that we want with our relationships, with our career, with our finances, with who we truly want to become. And this is the starting point. And say you are about right here. This is where you are today. You are here. You are here right now. So what is happening with the gap and the gain? So this is the gap and this is the gain. So a lot of times we are putting way too much pressure on ourselves because we are living in this space. We're living in this space, the gap. I want to be there. I want that amount of money. I want that house over in Colorado and in Florida. I want my Sprinter van. I do not have it today. I do not have it. I say these because these are my personal goals, so you guys know them. But we're living in this gap. I should already be 10 pounds lighter. I should already have a dozen more coaching clients. I need to think in your own terms of how you beat the crap out of yourself, thinking about a life that would be ideal for you, because it's kind of a jacked up process, to be humble and to live a good life. You got to be zen and living in the moment. We talk about this kind of stuff all the time. But in order to get somewhere where you want to go, you got to have some type of map. You're not going to go on vacation and not have an end destination in mind of where you want to go, or else what? You'll get lost. So We know that we got to create some type of ideal and some type of goal. And then the tricky part is to let go of that for right now and to be living in right here. Living right here where you are with everything, all the encompassing that you are today, everything that you can feel, that you can see, that you can touch. We talked about living in the moment. Usually you got to get your senses involved. What can you see beautiful things outside, or see things that you're grateful for that's already in front of you, or maybe getting your imagination or your hearing, other senses involved, taste, touch, to help bring us back to the present moment. Or also looking at, this is where a lot of joy can happen. This is where a lot of joy can happen, is when we are focused on the gains that we have made so far. And to do this, we can just go back. Something that I have found very helpful is when I'm putting too much pressure on myself, is that I see the ideal and the goal, and I have my eye on it. I know it's there and I know it exists, but then I'm recognizing I'm here right in this moment. I'm talking on camera. I'm having fun with my morning show, and I'm looking at the gains. Look at everything that we've done so far. Maybe you take a notebook piece of paper. You like writing in paper, or you like writing in a journal. Journaling is always great. And you're thinking about what has gone on in the last 2 years. 2 years, just 2 years of your life. I bet you can list off a number of things that have gone in. Maybe you've made a change in your career. Maybe you've gotten closer with the people you love and care about. Maybe you've made gains on your financials. Maybe you've invested and you're understanding the principles of investing. Maybe you're just raising your self-awareness of what is really important to you. So you're living in the gains. This is joy. This is happiness. I'm running out of chalk, so I just wrote the word happy. But happiness, joy, this is in the gains. I need another piece of chalk. I got some new chalk, and it's like almost soft. It's absolutely incredible. I can't remember the company it was. Shout out to my girlfriend for buying that to me. You're amazing. But so we know this is what we can experience when we're living in the gains of our lives, of what we have been able to accomplish and what we have been able to do. See how far things have come, getting closer with loved ones, that amazing good stuff. And then in the gap, this is where stuff gets saucy and it gets dangerous. People, myself, I live here. We all live here. And it's okay to stop here, to kind of recognize and readjust. But when we dwell here, it can be very, very dangerous. So what's going on in the gap? So this can lead to, so the gap leads to stress, anxiety, depression, okay. So stress, anxiety, and depression are usually the big three that come with living too long in the gap. You're hanging out too much into the future with the ideal and with the goal. And we've talked about how we need to set these goals. We need to be able to understand where the hell we're going. But then if you're living too far into it, that you're not able to enjoy today, and you're not able to reflect on how far you've really come to get some enjoyment out of that. And then bam, in this gap is very dangerous, because this is where stress, anxiety, and depression can stem from and pull out of, because I believe I am not good enough. I believe I am not good enough. I'm not at the ideal, so I'm not good enough. And everyone thinks this in some way, shape, or form. I'm sure you've all run into it, where you come to a point where, man, I'm just not doing enough. I'm not good enough. And how does that make you feel? Does that make you feel good? I would argue probably not. I know it makes me feel terrible. So stress, anxiety, depression can stem from when we are living in this gap. And how do we get out of it? We redirect our focus. In Buddhism, and just like a lot of meditations in general, they talk about this focus, like this ball. Like you can almost think of it like a sun, this movement of our focus in our mind that's kind of like moving around, and what you focus on is what you feel. What you focus on is what we truly feel. And remember, our emotions are the ones that's actually in the driver's seat. So our emotions are in the driver's seat. We understand that if we're focused too much on the ideal and the goal, we're living in this gap, and that causes stress, anxiety, depression. Be careful. Be careful. And so we have stress, anxiety, depression when we're living in the gap, but we want to be able to focus on the gains. Again, going back 2 years, what have you accomplished? Career, financially, relationship-wise, health-wise. What is it? Are you just raising awareness in general and being okay, living right here, right now, today, in the present moment? Because that is enough. Pain cannot survive in the present moment. We continue to go over that more and more. But this is the gap and the gain. We can either live in the gap, or we can live in the gain, or we can be right here, right now. We want to be spending the bulk of our time right here in the present moment, because we know suffering cannot survive there. And then also, it's okay to take times, maybe every week, you're looking at your one-page life plan that you've created with me over 6 weeks. And that's how often I usually take a Sunday. Every week I'm looking at my one-page life plan with my vision, with my goals, with my purpose, with my values, my relationships, the important meat and potatoes. I'm looking at that, and then we're going over some gains. It's like, this is episode 236, damn it. It's like we're making progress. We're getting closer to being 25% done with the show, because I'm going to episode 1,000. So it's like, look at the progress over just a year. Our ability to speak, our ability to try and help people. And so when we live in this gain, then it makes life a whole lot better. And we experience what? Joy, happiness. And then we're here in the moment. We're like, hell yeah, this feels good. This feels good. I'm on top of it. And then I'm looking at my goals once a week, and then I'm coming back to here. I'm living in my goals, but I'm not dwelling on the fact I'm not a multi-millionaire yet. Very, very important. So not dwelling on who we ideally want to become. It's more of a framing mechanism and a focus mechanism that we're able to be balanced on this line appropriately. So I hope this was helpful. I know the topic of putting too much pressure on ourselves can get it to the point to where your blood literally wants to boil over the pot or head, whatever, however I got that metaphor going on in your head. But be careful of applying too much pressure to yourself. This can be very dangerous. So that's all I had for you guys this morning is this week. So that's today's challenge. What is today's challenge? Let me go ahead and get over here. I want to get this in the comments for you guys. Today's challenge is we're going to give ourselves permission. We're going to give ourselves permission to take breaks, to set boundaries, and prioritize self-care. This will help reducing in stress and improving overall quality of life. Doesn't that sound like a good week? I think so. We're going to go for it. We're going to copy this down. Let me go ahead and get this into the comments. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining us this morning. So today's challenge for everyone, we're going to today's challenge is give yourself permission to take breaks, to set boundaries, and prioritize self-care. This will help with reducing stress and improving overall quality of life. Thanks for tuning in this morning. This is episode 236 of the Talk to Tanner Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help you become the best entrepreneur you can be. If you're looking to work with me, mano a mano, I offer a 6-week challenge called the One-Page Life Plan. This one-page document allows us to go over our purpose, our vision, our values, everything that truly represents us so we can communicate more effectively with the people we love and we care about, we want to do business with. I don't got time to tell you my values, my purpose, my vision, but you need to know this if you're going to be a partner of mine. You need to know this important stuff. You see it more and more, like how important culture is and an understanding other individuals. And we help you communicate that more efficiently and effectively. So if you're looking for a 6-week personal development challenge, send me a direct message and we can set up an introductory call and we can go over and see what that looks like if you're interested. So that's all I have for today. Thanks for tuning in this morning. You guys all having a wonderful, amazing, fun-filled Monday. Try to live in the present moment as much as we can. Maybe we write out a few of our gains that we've made so far today. I know just getting up early and getting on the show and doing that is a huge win for me. So I feel pretty good about that. And now I can take that momentum and roll into something else. So have an amazing day, everyone. Cheers. And I'll see you all in the next episode where we go live every weekday morning at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Tell your friends about us. Tell your family about us. Have people come on, stop on by 7 a.m. Let's start our days off right. Cheers, friends and family. I'm rolling out of here. You guys have an incredible, incredible day. Thanks for tuning in this morning. And I'll see you all in the next episode. 7 a.m. live Tuesday morning. Talk to Tanner. Till next time. Peace foods.